welcome to Sarah Lottie's. So we're going to do a 30-minute full body workout. You'll need an exercise band and a set of light dumbbells. Let's get to it. Starting today, facing forward on your mat, we'll find some cat-cows, fingertips just ahead of your shoulders, knees tuck underneath your hips. Find a nice big exhale, rounding your spine, gaze goes to your thighs. Big inhale, looking forward, finding length from the crown of the head all the way out through your hips. Let's do that a couple more times. Nice big exhale as you round up. Big inhales as you come forward. One more just like that. Nice big exhale, gaze to your thighs. Soft bend to your elbows, belly drops down, gazing forward. From here, find a neutral spine, squeezing in the core. Exhale, left toes extend out. Right fingertips come forward. Let's draw left toes in line with your hip, being mindful no arching of your low back. Finding some bird dogs. Right elbow comes into your left knee. And then inhale, everything extends out. Let's add a little pike there. Right elbow to your left knee, round, round, round. And then nice big inhale, everything comes forward. As you're squeezing your fingertips and toes, finding length to opposite sides of the room and really lifting up through that left glute. Let's do one more, holding out fingertips and toes in 3, in 2, and 1. Everything holds forward, no arching of that low back. Little up an inch, little down. Pulsing here for 8, for 7, make it small, for 6, for 5, keep squeezing your core, for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, knee and fingertips drop down. Exhale, right toes extend out, left fingertips forward. Same thing here. Let's draw that left elbow to your right knee, keeping a neutral spine to start. And then inhale, extending everything forward. Now let's add that pike. Left elbow to your right knee, round, 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 gaze to your thighs. And then nice big inhale, finding that length. Again, being mindful, no arching of that low back. If it starts to dip down, no worries. Just squeeze your core. You'll find it. All right, one more just like that, and then we're going to find those pulses in 3, in 2, fingertips and toes extended in 1. Release, squeeze through that core, lift it up an inch and down. You're here for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, squeeze that right glute. You're here for 4, for 3, squeeze that core, 2, and 1. Inhale, pressing back into a shell pose. Ooh, not so bad. We're going to come through onto a nice neutral position here. I'm going to transition. Right hand is going down onto the mat. Left toes extend out. To start, left fingertips content just ahead of your body. We're going to be focusing here on your left side body and your right oblique. To start, draw your left toes in line with your left hip. We'll lift them up just into that nice, beautiful straight line position, and then inhale, drop them back down. So nice, big exhale, drawing everything up, and inhale, dropping it back down. If you'd like to add on, find a little bit extra balance here, you can add that dumbbell, keeping that left hand up nice and high to the sky, and finding stability here. Let's hold those left toes up in 5. Find some variations here in 4. In 3, left toes up in 2. And 1, holding your left toes up. Woo! Feeling that left glute. Squeeze into your right oblique here. Little pulses here to start. You're here for 10, for 9, pressing up into that right shoulder girdle. For 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, hold it up in 2, and 1. From here, rainbows, drawing those left toes forward, and then finding that nice big exhale, drawing them behind. It's okay if those toes don't tap down all the way down to the floor. It'll depend on your hip mobility, how tight those hip flexors are. Just making nice big rainbows here, drawing those toes as close as you can to the ground, exhaling as you draw up. Let's hold those toes forward of your mat in 5. In 4, woo, feeling that side booty. In 3, in 2, and 1. Let's hold those toes forward here. Just finding toe taps down to the ground. Exhale, drawing up. Dropping down to the ground. Exhale, drawing up. Reaching up through that right oblique the entire time. I am definitely starting to feel this in my left side booty. My right leg is my supporting leg. I'm also feeling that quad. So if you're feeling that too, you're in good company. Let's hold those toes up in 5. We're going to pulse them out in 4. In 3, up nice and high in 2, and 1, little up an inch, little down. You're here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We're not done yet. 2, and 1. Drawing those toes in line with your hip. Beautiful. Now you can drop that weight if you've got it here, friends. Left fingertips are going to tent down onto the ground, and you're going to draw that left knee in to meet your right knee. And a nice big exhale, opening up, finding that fire hydrant, and extending left toes out. Woo! This one is a burner, my friends. If you need a little bit extra support, that entire right palm can press down. It'll engage your left shoulder and your left tricep to help you stay supported in that right side. Feeling advanced, left fingertips can pop up nice and high to the sky. Woo! Let's hold that fire hydrant open in 5. In 4, fire hydrant open in 3. In 2, and 1, fire hydrant open. Little butterfly pulses, little up an inch, little down for 10, for 9, 8, 7. I am shaking like an earthquake here. You've got 3, for 2, and 1. Left toes extend. Beautiful. Draw those right toes back in, and then come down. Oh my gosh, so powerful. Push yourself back to a beautiful shell pose here. Shake things out. If you need to tenderize the meat, feel free to do that. We're going to find some upper body here, then we'll hit that other side. So for our upper body block, we're going to be using our exercise band. You can shimmy this just a couple of inches over your knees. And we're going to grab onto those dumbbells here. Starting in a tabletop position, let's pop up into a nice downward dog, walking those toes close to your weights. With a rounded spine, come up vertebrae by vertebrae, nice and slow. And roll those shoulders down your back. So for these exercises, we'll have that nice band above your knees. If you stand up and it shimmies, just replace it here. Standing with your feet hip-width distance apart, feet underneath your knees, underneath your hips. Let's find a nice, just gentle squat here. Finding an exhale, draw those weights. So you've got a nice 90-degree bend in your arms, just like that. We're going to find a hitchhiker here. So palms face together, open up nice and wide, drawing fingertips to opposite sides of the room. And then drawing your fingertips right back, stopping when that elbow is in line with your wrist and your shoulder, resisting that urge to have those fingertips draw nice and close together. Should be feeling this one in the backs of your shoulders, that rotator cuff specifically. It's a bundle of muscles that stabilizes your shoulder joint. And being mindful you're drawing those shoulders away from your ears. Gonna hold it out. We're gonna find a couple variations here in 5. In 4, oh, it's a sneaky leg move too with this squat. In 3, in 2, and 1, hold it out. Really grip those dumbbells. You're drawing them to your shoulder. Woo! And then nice inhale, just drawing to 90 degrees here. Exhale, squeezing, drawing the tips of the dumbbell to the top of your shoulder. And then inhale back to 90 degrees. So getting the outer line of your arm here, a little bit of tricep, a little bit of bicep. Still staying really engaged in that entire shoulder girdle. Rotator cuff feeling powerful. If you do a lot of standing, this is an amazing exercise for posture. Also, if you sit a lot, posture is also important. Let's hold those dumbbells down to 90 in 5. In 4, dumbbells to 90 in 3. In 2, and 1, dumbbells to 90. We're going back to that hitchhiker here. Now, if you're looking for a little bit of a deeper burn in your rotator cuff back of the shoulder, palms can face up. This will just get into that rotator cuff a little bit more intensely. If you've got a pinchy shoulder, feel free to draw those palms to face each other. Woo! All right. Let's hold those fingertips together in 5. In 4, how's that squat feeling? In 3, my butt is shaking. In 2, and 1, beautiful. Woo, nice big inhale. Roll those shoulders down your back. Second variation, we're going to be targeting the triceps here. So I'm going to turn to face the front. Elbows are going to lock in at the side. We're going to find that squat again, secret leg move here. And you're drawing your hips back, shoulders forward. Feet stay hip-width distance apart, squeezing your elbows in at the side. For this variation, palms are going to face up. Thumbs are outside your body. Pinkies are pointed in. All right, locking those elbows in place. Nice full extension with the arms. Drawing them all the way out. And then drawing your fingertips to your shoulders. Full extension here. Elbows don't lift and lower. And I'm squeezing glutes, squeezing hamstrings. The more of that forward fold that you have, the more you're going to feel this in your core. Let's do a couple more here. Oh my gosh, can you get a little bit lower? Advanced if you'd like to add on. Every time you extend those arms, lift and alternating heel. Woo, it'll really get those calves going, glutes, hamstrings on fire. Let's hold those arms out in 5, in 4, in 3, arms behind you in 2, and 1, arms all the way out, straight arm pulses, little up an inch, little down. Can you sit your hips just a little bit lower? You're here for 5, you're here for 4, second variation in 3, in 2, and 1, forearms up to the sky, little lateral pulses. You're going side to side here, squeezing your shoulder blades behind your back. You're here for 3, you're here for 2. We're going back to that full range in 1. Elbows lock in and draw those fingertips up. Woo, so good. All right, finding those alternating heel raises here. Beautiful work. Getting a little bit of extra bicep burn in here as well. Woo. Lifting opposite heel every time you draw those arms back. Woo. So good, my friends. Let's have one more pulse in 5. In 4, last set of pulses in 3. In 2. And 1 last set of pulses, micro bend, micro extend for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Can you get lower? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Draw those arms to 90. Woo, nice exhale, rounding your spine, round the shoulders. So good. One more arm move, then we're going to hit that right side of your body. We're going to go back into that squat one more time. Relax shoulders down your back. Going to find a nice deep squat. This one you can find a 45-degree bend of those feet just out to either side. We're going to find a hammer curl. Hands are going to face each other and then extend into a shoulder press. Elbows come to 90, drop down. Woo! Finding that beautiful press here of the biceps into a shoulder press. So little hammer curl. Hands are facing one another, getting the outer side of the bicep. Getting the tops and the fronts of the shoulders here as well. Woo! Again, if you're feeling advanced here, every time you extend up into that shoulder press, you can lift your opposite heel. It's really going to get those thighs burning. If this ever feels like too much, you can always ditch that exercise band. You might be feeling like it. I definitely am considering it right now, but we're mighty, we're strong. All right, let's hold those arms up nice and high in 5. We're going to find some pulses in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Holding those arms up nice and high. Beautiful. Let's come down to 90. Pulse it up an inch and down, up an inch and down. These micro pulses, getting those slow twitch muscle fibers. You're here for another 5. Can you get lower for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1? Drop those dumbbells. Slowly roll up. Shoulders roll down your back. Let's walk it out here. Nice deep stretch. Dropping those hands onto the mat. Little sway to the left side. Little sway to the right. Coming to center, finding your breath. Big inhale. Nice straight back here. And big exhale. Let it all flow. So good. Guess what? We get to take this band off. Hooray, hooray. Band comes off. We can move those weights off to the side. We are back to the right side. So we're going to be finding a nice tabletop position. Again, fingertips just ahead of your shoulders. We're going to be dropping down into that left forearm this time. Left knee stacks directly underneath your left hip. Going to extend out that right leg. So right toes are nice and in line with your right hip. If you'd like, you can have that weight for the little extra here. All right, so let's draw those toes up, nice and high to the sky. Inhale, you're dropping them down. Exhale, toes come up. Inhale, you're dropping them down. Focus here. We're looking at that right outer thigh, right glute med. Left quad and left glute are providing quite a bit of support. Now on the other side, if you had that weight up, nice and high, feel free to draw it up. Woo, feels good. All right, team, let's hold it up nice and high in 5. We're going to pulse those right toes in 4. In 3, in 2, and one. Little up and inch, little down, little up, little down. Really engaging that right glute. Maybe you draw that heel back just a little bit. Being mindful you're pressing up and out of that shoulder girdle. You're here for 3. Let's hold it in 2. We're going to find those rainbows and 1. Hold it still. And then inhale, drawing those toes down. Exhale, drawing up and back behind you. Now, every body is different. If your left side feels a little bit different than your right side in terms of how far your toes can drop down, that's okay. You might just be more flexible on one side. For me personally, I have a lot more mobility in my right hip than I do in my left hip. So you might see my toes dropping down. Hooray! Bodies are generally not symmetrical, but if yours is, amazing. Let's hold those right toes up in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Toes are up. Oh my gosh, I'm shaking. Inhale, dropping those toes down. Exhale, drawing them back up. Inhale, dropping toes down. Exhale, dropping them up. Now that right toe is just about a 45-degree angle with your body. If you're more flexible, it might be coming a little bit closer to those left fingertips. Let's hold it up high. We'll find some pulses in 5. In 4, let it shake in 3, in 2, and 1. Hold those toes up. Little up and inch, little down, little up, little down. For 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Draw that knee in, and then that weight can come down. Give yourself a little stretch here, just a micro stretch. We're going to be right back down on that left forearm. Now, those right fingertips can come up high or they can be on the mat. We're going to find our fire hydrant here. Knees come together, opening in that right knee up and extending right toes out. Bending back in and drawing those knees together. If you're feeling mighty, you might lift up into those right arm, or you might even grab that dumbbell again. Whew. Once again, feeling that supporting leg, that left side is holding your body up, and that right leg finding that gorgeous extension. If this feels trickier than it did on your first side, remember you did 3 sets of banded squats in between. So if you're feeling shaky, it's okay, me too. It'll feel good. We are gonna hold that fire hydrant open in 5, in 4, finding those butterfly pulses in 3, in 2, and 1. Little up an inch, little down, little up, little down. You've got 10. Can you squeeze that left oblique? 8, 7, for 6, 5, 4. Extend that leg. 3, 2, and 1. Full extension. Draw it back in. Knees come together. Oh my gosh. Sweet relief. Sending yourself back. Holy smokes. Whew. We are so mighty, my friends. We're going to drop it down now into the center core. So we'll be finding a little bit of a plank series here. You won't need any weights. You'll just need your own body for this. We're going to be starting with a forearm plank. So we'll be drawing those fingertips down to the mat. Give yourself a nice little stretch here first, and then drop both of your forearms onto the mat. You can start with your knees just on the mat. Hips will shift forward ahead of your knees. Things to be mindful of, making sure that your shoulders are stacked directly on top of your elbows, resisting the urge to draw them even more forward. Our body wants to do that. It's our joints trying to help out, but we'll keep this one in the muscles. From here, once you're feeling nice and stable, you can plant your toes, exhale, and draw up. Yeah, just like that. All right, and then let's drop those toes down. Beautiful. Making sure you're keeping those shoulders on top of your elbows, planting your toes, exhale, drawing up. Now, each time you do that, find that beautiful engagement in the lower core. So that area just underneath your navel, think about squeezing that. And also think about the area between your shoulder blades. So squeezing those shoulder blades together, they should be nice and primed from all of that work we just did with the weights, finding that rotator cuff and beyond. All right, let's hold up in this plank in 5. In 4, we're going to hold it up in 3. In 2, and 1, tucking those toes, holding it up. You have got a 20-second plank hold here, friends, okay? So thinking about from head to toe, can you relax your shoulders down your back? Can you squeeze your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling? Take a slight tuck to your pelvis and really zip up those inner thighs. Great news, you only have 5, 4, we're going to drop down to the knees in 3, in 2, and 1. Dropping down to the knees. Let's press back, finding a beautiful shell pose. Woo! So good. let's come back into our forearm plank position. Fingertips forward, shoulders directly on top of those elbows. The more we practice this position, the more natural it will feel to get back into it. From here, find an exhale. You're going to pop it up to your plank. Beautiful. So easy now. And then exhale, find a pike. You're looking at your thighs. Inhale, drawing it right back forward. Exhale, drawing into a plank. Woo! And coming forward. Finding that beautiful pike, lifting your hips up. And then inhale, coming back to your plank position. Beauty. Woo! You should be feeling those shoulders, feeling those triceps quite a bit. We're going to come back to our plank position in 5. In 4, back to plank in 3. In 2, and 1, back to your plank. Plant that right forearm down. We're twisting it over to that left side. So opening your left chest up nice and high, finding that space between your mat, your right hip, and the mat. Beautiful. Now from here, few variations. If this doesn't feel good in your body, you can always come down onto your knees. You're still really cranking on that right oblique and really working that shoulder girdle. Advanced, if you would like. Left toes can come up, and you might even find some extensions here with your legs. If you're following along here at home, let's hold out in 3, in 2, and 1. Left toes can come out, close those toes together, and find some hip dips. Dropping that right hip down, exhale, coming up, dropping it down, boo, big exhale coming up. Now with this, you're feeling a lot on your shoulder, okay? So if ever it feels like that shoulder is coming ahead of your elbow, just drop it down to your knees. You can do these just as well on the knees, okay? All right, let's hold it up in 3, in 2, and 1. Hold it up here. We're just going to hold here for 10, for 9, be in the stillness for 8, for 7, for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's press back into a beautiful shell pose here. We do have 2 sides, friends. So we're going to switch it over to this left side. Left forearm is going to plant down. And we're going to draw those toes up nice and high to the sky. Beautiful. Woo! Feeling the power here on that left side. Again, if it feels better on this shoulder to be on your knees so that your shoulder isn't going ahead of your elbow, that is a-okay. Woo! Advance, friends. Can plant those toes and lift right toes up and draw them right back down. Right toes come up, draw them right back down. Chest stays nice and open. We're going to hold those toes down in 3, in 2, and 1. Hold the toes down. Left hip drops down. Exhale, press it up. Drop that left hip down. Exhale, press it up. Drop it right down. Exhale, drop it up. Again, if you would like, you can do these on your knees. No problem. Do whatever feels best on your shoulder. We're going to hold it up in 3, in 2, and 1. Just holding it here for 10, for 9, 8, 7, for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees can come down. Press yourself back into a shell pose here. So good. Team, great news. We've just got a couple of minutes left. We're going to finish with a beautiful core burn. So going to grab your band, wrap it around your thighs, just finding a couple of inches above your knees. We're going to start here on your forearms, like you're lounging on a beach, but not collapsing into your shoulders. So again, really squeezing those shoulders behind your back. And then those forearms are nice and active, pressing into the mat. Find a little bit of distance here between your legs. Feet are just hip width distance apart here as well. Staying supported in your upper body. We're going to find an exhale, draw left toes into a tabletop, and then exhale, let's draw those right toes to meet. From here, drop those toes down. Beautiful. Exhale, draw them right back up. Nice inhale, dropping toes down. Exhale, drawing them back up. Woo! Beautiful. So, little challenge here, friends. As we go on, the knees tend to come closer to the chest. So can you press your knees away from your body just a little bit? If you start to feel like you're shaking like an earthquake in your core, you're doing it right. All right, let's hold those toes in tabletop in 5. In 4, toes in tabletop. We're going to add some twists in 3, in 2, and one. Some torso twists, keeping your torso nice and steady here. We're going to twist here from the hips, drawing those left knees down to the left side of your mat, and then extend those toes out. Woo! Draw them right back in. Inhale, coming through center. Let's extend those toes out. Same thing on the right side. Nice big exhale, find that twist. Extend those toes out, squeeze in, and draw back to center. Woo! Really good. Advanced. As you draw those left toes down and extend out, right fingertips might come up high to the sky, and resetting once you come through center. Let's try that on the right side. Twisting right knees, extending that left arm up. So good. That's going to add a dimension of balance. Doesn't necessarily make it harder, but you're going to be working on those stabilizer muscles a little bit more. Again, this exercise is so good for the posture, all of those muscles that are lining your spine. Let's hold it over. Left toes will be twisted here in 3. Meet me here in 2 and 1. Beautiful. Woo, let's find some touches here. Fingertips to your toes, and you're finding that length of the band. So working those inner thighs, working right oblique, finding that breath. A lot of posture muscles here. Left shoulder working nice and hard. Let's hold your wrists to your ankles in 3, in 2, and 1. Little pulses here. Just like you're a human panini, you're getting pressed into that little panini press. You're here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Reset right forearm. Let's go back to center. Give your legs a little shake out here. We're going to do the same thing, twisting it over to that right side. So those right toes are going to twist over. Beautiful. Left fingertips come up nice and high to the sky. Woo! And then we find that beautiful extension here with the band. Let's reach over, finding opposite wrist to opposite ankle. Staying nice and supportive on that arm that is on the mat. Staying active in your upper body. Let's hold wrist to ankle in 5, in 4, wrist to ankle in 3, in 2, and 1. Little pulses here. You're here for 5, woo, for 4. I'm a panini for 3, for 2, and 1. Drawing that left forearm down. Beautiful. From here, let's lie it down. Give yourself a nice little stretch, drawing your knees into your chest. Nice big hug. This is a great time in the workout to give yourself a genuine and loving compliment. You're doing amazing. It is silly, the stuff we're doing, so be kind to yourself. Let's cross your legs. Give yourself a nice little roll coming up onto the mat. Woo, we got a couple more things here, my friends. Let's keep working that center core, shall we? All right. Option here, you can grab a weight, keep the band on your legs. We're going to find a beautiful hinge backwards. If you have a Pilates ball, feel free to tuck that behind your back here. All right, we're going to hold the weight just ahead of your chest. Elbows are up, okay? So draw them away from your body, and you're pressing into that weight. Finding a beautiful C curve shape here. Let's lift those left toes up. Beautiful. Right toes come to meet. We're going to find a rotation, elbows out nice and wide. Drawing right elbow to your left knee as that right leg extends. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, left elbow to your right knee. Inhale, coming to center. Finding that beautiful rotation from side to side. If you can, hinge backwards just a little bit. You'll feel that shake, shake, shake. We're going to find some pulses. Right elbow to your left knee in 5. In 4, right elbow to your left knee in 3. In 2 and 1. Think about rotating from that left elbow. Little twists here. Right toes are extended. They can always rest on the floor. If you would like, challenge, they're up. You're here for 3. We're going to hold it in 2 and 1. Hold it up and inch and down on those right toes. For 3, you got it. For 2 and 1. Let's rotate right through center. We're going to find that twist on the other side. Left elbow is coming over. Beautiful. To that right knee. Finding that twist, leading with that right elbow. You're here for 5. Can you hinge backwards? For 4. We're so mighty. For 3. For 2. And for 1. Hold the twist. Pulse left toes up and inch and down. You're here for 3. You got it. For 2. Stay strong. Elbows down the back. And 1. Inhale. Come to center. Round yourself over. Oh my goodness. Friends, cross your legs. We're going to find a beautiful stretch here. Did a lot on those inner thighs, a lot on the glutes, hamstrings, entire upper body. So let's press back, drawing those fingertips to the edge of the mat, and your forehead can rest nice and heavy here. Now, if you'd like, you can take the band off. The band can feel nice to get a deep inner thigh stretch. So do what feels good in your body and just rest here. Focus on calming your breath down and just getting in tune with your heartbeat again. Take one inhale, one exhale here. And then you're going to walk your fingertips over to the right side of your mat, pressing back into your hips. Right palm can rest down onto the ground, and left fingertips can reach on top, feeling a really gorgeous release in your left side body, feeling that QL, feeling your hips, feeling left shoulder. Take one inhale, one exhale here. And then on your next inhale, walk your fingertips through center. Stay here for one breath, maybe pushing back a little bit farther into your hips. And then on your next exhale, walk your fingertips to the left side of your mat. Left palm plants down and right fingertips can rest on top if that feels good and supportive in your body. Again, pressing back into your hips. Maybe your knees can wiggle out just a little bit more in this position. And maybe you find a little bit more of a release of your right armpit onto the mat. Take one more full inhale, exhale here, pressing back into those hips. And on an inhale, walk those fingertips back to the center. One full breath here, friends. And you can push into your hands, walk yourself up. And we did it, 30 minutes, my friends. Thanks for working out with me today. You are so mighty. See you soon.